Yo, what's going on guys? It's Anime One back here with a new video, and today I'm with a new series of What If Naruto Was Neglected and had a legendary dojutsu. So if you guys like the content in the channel, please subscribe to the channel, and while you're at it, also like this video. So without any delay, let's begin the video. So we start this one off with pretty much the Nine Tails attack happening. As usual, nothing really changes there until the point of the Nine Tails getting sealed. So we're gonna, pretty much go over that. As Minato and Kushina are preparing to seal the Nine Tails away. Kushina is arguing with Minato that he should not use the Reaper Death Seal. In order to do so, they should not make their, children's Jinchurikis. As Minato is looking at her and he's like, sorry, babe, but I really don't have a choice. The only way we can split the Nine Tails chakra is by using the Reaper Death Seal. As Minato says that. Kushina is like, fine, dude, do whatever you want. And then when Minato is going through the Reaper Death Seal, Kushina actually backhands Minato and sends him flying away with all whatever chakras he has left. And then C goes through the Reaper Death Seal, because again, C was the one who taught Minato how to use the Reaper Death Seal in the first place. So Minato, of course, tries to stop this from happening, but it's already too late. Kushina has already gone through Handshine, and the Reaper has been summoned. As the Reaper has been summoned, she looks at her three children and is thinking that hopefully that she could not see them grow up. She almost tells the same words that she told to them originally, to Naruto originally. She pretty much tells all three of them the same thing. And two children are two boys and one girl, Menma, Mito, and Naruto, as in every kind of what if those are the three staples. So Kushina pretty much seals the QB inside of Menma and Mito, as he looks at Naruto and is like, I'm not giving my baby boy any kind of gift, huh? Well, I guess I'll give you something. As she would say that, she would give a little bit of her chakra, which is left to Naruto, as you would be able to talk to her, since she pretty much did the same thing with Menman Mito, since they knew that she knew that they would need help in order to control the Nine Tails. So she pretty much sealed some portion of her chakra into three of them, and in case they ever needed it. After all this happens, Minato sees Kushina's dead body, as he cradled her in his arms, and Kushina knew that why Minato wanted to do this, because Minato didn't want to live without her. Minato loved her so much that he thought that without her, his life was worthless. He wanted to die because Kushina would have died after the Nine Tails extraction had happened, and he didn't want to live without her. And he was choosing a noble way to get out, but Kushina just couldn't let their children grow up as an orphan, so he had to do something. After this whole mess does happen, Minato is in the hospital because of course he was injured a lot during his whole Nine Tails fiasco and his battle against Obito. He's in the hospital. As Minato opens his eyes, he immediately he notices that he's in the hospital. First of all, oxygen mask is attached to his face, and he has many kind of wires attached to his bodies as well. In feeling giving him pretty much saline and blood that he needs in order to survive. Minato, when he opens his eyes, immediately is like, okay, shit. And when Minato does open his eyes, the nurse enters the room and she calls the doctor immediately. And when the doctor comes, he sees Minato, taking off his face mask, oxygen mask, and taking off all the wires that were attached to his body. And the doctor's like, Lord Hokage, you need to rest. You can just not be like this. I know that, after all that you have done, you need a rest. And Minato's like, no. Where are my three kids? Menma, Mito, Naruto. Where are they? Minato would ask, as the doctors would look at them. They would be like, they're safe in the nursery. They're being taken care of. You don't need to worry about them, Lord Okage. They're perfectly healthy. And Minato's like, take me to them, and they're like, we cannot. You're not in the condition in walking. And Minato's trying to be defiant, but as soon as he tries to walk, he falls down and he blacks out again. After a few days, Minato actually wakes up. This time he went on a temporary coma, and this time he's fully healed up. So, after some time, he goes to his kids to see them along. And then when he goes towards his kid, he sees Mikoto Uchiha along with her newborn baby Sasuke and Itachi just holding her hand. Uh, Looking over the three babies, as she has a worried look on her face. Minato would of course approach her and be like, "Hey, Mikoto, it's been a long time." And Mikoto would look at him and smile, like, "Yeah, Minato, it has been long, hasn't it?" She would say, but she could see the pain in Minato's eyes that it showed that by losing Kushina, he lost a part of himself. As this would have happened, Mikado would, of course, offer to raise Naruto and other kids from time to time, pretty much babysitting and taking care of them when she has time. And Minato's like, yeah, that would be a huge help. After that, Minato goes to see his three kids, and he sees the seal in Menma and Mita, and he's like, yeah, those are the two Jinchurikis of the Nine Tails for sure. And then he looked at Naruto, who has no seal on him, and he's like, okay, at least Kushina didn't like brand all of my three kids with the Nine Tails. So Minato's pretty much, as he goes towards his kid, the first one he picks up is Naruto, because Naruto doesn't have some kind of seal, so he's sort of attached towards Naruto. Since since the Naruto is the eldest among the three, he was born the first, so because of that, yeah. And after that, he tries to play with Naruto a bit by pretty much poking out his finger towards Naruto, who grabs his finger. And Minato's eyes widen when Naruto grabs his finger, as he thinks that this is the most precious and cute thing in the entire world. As he sort of smiles and it's like, I will never let go of you. And how wrong would Minato Namikaze be? Just because of his foolish sensei, which said a little bit of words, he would neglect this child later on in his life. We cut to a 4-year time skip where a nanny, pretty much like a caretaker, is taking care of the three kids because Minato is pretty goddamn busy. As Minato is in office and Jiraiya was in his office as well. Minato, I've got a prophecy by the Great Sword, and he said the prophecy has changed. Minato look at him. Oh, the prophecy has changed? Wasn't the prophecy supposed to be, that one of the, any one of your prodigies or, any one of your student would be the child of prophecy? And Jiraiya is like, yeah. Actually, the prophecy has changed, and the prophecy is the child with great power dormant in him will awaken those powers when needed to, with the great emotional trauma, and will save the world or either destroy it. And Minato is like, okay, great power within them. I have two, kids that are forming in my mind immediately. And Jiraiya is like, yeah, I also have in the suspicions that it's gonna be Menma and Mita. And Minato is like, oh, I have to they have the nine tails inside of them, and let's just be honest, there's nothing more powerful in this world than the nine tail beast itself. And Jiraiya's like, yeah, you're pretty goddamn correct. Soon, Minato, along with Jiraiya, would return to home at night, and all the three kids would be really happy to see the father back home. Since again, Minato is the Hokage, he cannot come back home really. At most of the time, especially after the Nine Tails attack. But Hiruzen does, Hiruzen does help Minato here and there, with all the Hokage stuff, as he does want Minato to spend time with his family, and because he knows what it is like to neglect a child because of your Hokage's duty, because he had neglected Asuma pretty often. So After all of this happens, nothing really changes as Minato pretty much tells Mito and Menma and Naruto that they're going to be starting their training, but they're going to be starting Naruto's training a little late, but they're going to be starting Mita and Menma's training a little quick. Mita and Menma, just being 4 years old, are really happy that, they're going to be getting training by their parents, and Naruto's a little bummed out since he's not going to be getting any training and he's not going to be able to spend much time with his father. But he's happy that at least Minato will train him in the future. But as 1 year passed, Naruto would keep on asking Minato whether he can train or not, and Minato was like, "Sorry, Naruto, like I'm really busy with the Hokage stuff and all, and especially with me training Minma and Mito, things are getting really hectic. Like how about this? I'll train you when the academy starts." And Naruto's like, "Well, that's 3 years from now." And Minas is like, "Naruto, please wait. And like your brother and sister are special." He would never say to Menma and Mita that they're special, but the reason he would say this to Naruto is because he wants Naruto to pretty much shut up. And Naruto just just go away and being all sad and whatnot. So Naruto would go to the Uchiha compound where Mikoto, one of the few people who would treat him really good, since most of the people in the village saw that Minato actually favored Minma and Mito over Naruto, so they decided Naruto was like a failure of the clan or something. They would talk behind his back and be like, this kid has to be weak, yeah, and they'll be like, yeah, he has to be weak. Otherwise, there's no way that how kind and caring Lord Hokage would ignore his own child. And they're like, yeah, you're true, you're correct, you're correct. So Naruto would meet Mikoto in his way, and she would console him since she was with Sasuke, right? She was going with Sasuke into shopping, and Naruto and Sasuke both are 5 years old. As Naruto would say to Mikoto, what happened? She would be like, "Oh, honey, don't worry. Your father is just the Hokage. He's really busy, Now, and Minato pretty much sees the entirety of the village as his family, and Naruto is like, I understand that, but like, why does he train Minma and Mito then? It's like he loves them, but he doesn't loves me. Naruto would say that by gripping the swing that he and Mikoto were at, really tightly. Mikoto would see what is building inside Naruto. Envy and jealousy towards those two kids that Minato's favoring so much. And she would put a hand on Naruto's shoulder. "Naruto, how about this? How about you become so strong that your father is forced to acknowledge you? How about that?" And as he would say that, Naruto would look down. "It's not like that idea hasn't popped into my head, but who'll train me? People in the village don't like me very much. They just say that I'm the failure of the Hokage's son, or the failure of the clan, and it hurts, honestly." Naruto would say that to Mikoto, and Mikoto would, just smile at the child, who's again, of course, a child. And Sasuke would look at Naruto and be like, "Hey, why are you acting like a sore loser? You have to get strong enough. My father also treats me the same way, but I just don't give up. I keep on practicing and practicing so that I can become strong enough, more stronger than my brother, that my father has to force to be acknowledge me." Naruto would look at Sasuke, but he'd be like, "You have people, who are willing to train you, unlike me." And Sasuke is like, "Oh yeah, that actually is true." Mikoto would actually chuckle to this and be like, "Naruto, how about you train with Sasuke?" And Naruto would look at her and, wait, what?" And she would be like, "Yeah, how about you train with Sasuke? Sasuke is like time to time training with Mise and Itachi, so I would be pretty happy if you could, train with us." Naruto would be like, "Okay, okay. Thank you a lot, Mikoto," and he would like hug her and just be really happy, right? Mikoto would, of course, accept the hug and whatnot. Soon, the training with Naruto, Sasuke, Itachi, and Mikoto would occur. And the thing was, Naruto had progressed really fast, and both Mikoto and Itachi noticed that Naruto was like genius, like genius up to the level like even beyond Itachi level genius we're talking about here. And they're like, okay, Naruto, listen, you have talent, but you need to work hard. Like, if you want to be anywhere near Itachi, because Naruto, from idolizing to be like his father, actually idolizes to be more like Itachi. Whom Sasuke always brags about that. His brother graduated the academy at such a young age. His brother became the Anbu captain at such a young age. His brother did that. His brother did that. His brother passed the tuning exams in a record time and whatnot. And Naruto, by hearing all of this, would be like, okay, I want to be like your brother. Okay, so eventually Itachi also thinks of Naruto like a little brother as they keep on training. Soon the academy starts, and the thing is, Naruto passes the academy in 1 year. That's right. Naruto is such a genius. As I already said, he's above Itachi, the genius we're talking about. Naruto is so smart and so strong with Itachi and Mikoto's training that he already has passed the academy within a year after just showing, Shadow Clone Jutsu and whatnot. Minato was pretty surprised by this, after hearing the news that one more 8 and 9-year-old has passed the academy. Would of course call Naruto to his office, would come into his office, be a little excited that maybe his father is proud of him for passing the academy at such a young age. Minato would look at Naruto with a little bit of disappointment. Look at Naruto would be like, "That, Dad, what is that look for?" Minato would say to Naruto that I, I wanted you to have enjoy your childhood. I didn't want you to become a shinobi so quick. Like, why did you do this? And Naruto would clench his fist and be like, because forget it, Naruto would say, because he wouldn't want to say it that he did to earn Minato's approval. Minato would sigh and be like, okay, now that you passed the academy, I really cannot stop you. But since you have been placed into the teams, I would like you to behave, Naruto. Please don't act stupid. And Naruto would, of course, walk out of the Hokage's office running a little as Minato would sigh. He would miss Kushina, of course, as he would think in his mind, what would have Kushina done in this case? Like, would things have turned out any different? Would they have even trained Naruto? He had been training Minman Mita, and the training had been coming along pretty nicely. They have been able to master the nine tail chakra up to some extent, and they could go up to their one tail's cloak for a bit of time after before losing complete control. And Minato would be like, okay, yeah, they're getting pretty strong, but he would never, of course, not acknowledge Naruto's training. Soon, Naruto would be placed in the team with remember that Kakashi actually was a Jonin sensei before Naruto and the others. Like five, he failed like 5 teams, like 5 years before Naruto and the others passed out. And let's just say Kakashi is assigned to Naruto's team. Kakashi, Naruto, and like other two father characters. Of course, Naruto, who's really smart, like Itachi level genius, would say to them that after Kakashi's belt test that they need to work together, or they're not gonna pass. And they're like, "Oh, okay, like we'll work together, but like you're gonna pass, of course, because you're a genius and whatnot." Even when they are like way older than him, like 12 years old, and Naruto's like what 9 years old, and they're like, "Yeah, you will pass anyways." But Naruto like, "Don't worry, I'll not like if I get the belts, I'll give you two the belts, and we'll pass." But Naruto is just saying that because he knows that there's no such thing as two-man cell or one Jonin and two Genians. They would, of course, agree to this, and they would all jump Kakashi at the same time, trying to get the bells. And after they all are tired, including Naruto, who couldn't even land a single hit, and Kakashi would be like, Kakashi would smile, I smile at all of them and be like, okay, you pass. And they would all look at Kakashi in shock, except for Naruto, who would smirk, and Kakashi would side glance at Naruto and give him an eye smile and be like, Naruto, don't tell me you knew the meaning of this test. Naruto would be like, yeah, of course I knew. It's kind of dumb of a test because, well, the things that you said of only two Genins being able to pass and the others failing in the academy doesn't really make sense. As even you, as a Jonin sensei, don't have the power to do that. If you have to fail, you'll have to fail all three of us, or if you have to pass, then you have to pass all three of us. There's no other latter option. And Kakashi would scratch the back of his head and he'd be like, "Yeah, it's to be expected of you." And then he would give them all a thumbs up. And from today on, we are Team Seven. And soon they would go on many D rank and some C rank mission until the tuning exams would begin. Kakashi was been giving Minato reports here and there about Naruto's training. Minato would hear about this once here and there, but really would not pay much attention to this. Kakashi had not been noticing this like before, but now has been noticing that Minato is neglecting Naruto big time, like big time neglecting Naruto, and he would like walk away after doing that. Kakashi would think that since the three Genins are entering the training exams, and he does have his bet on Naruto, who's really 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 strong, like high tuning level strong. And he would say to Naruto that Naruto, how about I teach you a jutsu? And Naruto would be like, oh, really? Really? Like a new one, not those basic nature transformation jutsu. And Kakashi would have a shred drop at the back of its head and be like, listen, Naruto, there's big of those jutsu that you call basic nature transformation jutsu are like really high level jutsu that I taught you, okay? Don't be like that. And Naruto's, just puff out his cheeks and be like, oh, okay, fine. Now what is the jutsu? Kakashi would put his hand forward and a Rasengan would form. Naruto's eyes would widen in glee and his eyes would start to sparkle as he would see the Rasengan. He would say, like, isn't that my father's technique? And Kakashi would, of course, after dissipating the Rasengan in his hand, and be like, yeah, that is your father's technique, Naruto. That is your father's technique. And I'm going to be teaching you this so that, you have a really high chance in just blasting through the tuning exams. And Naruto would be like, okay, I'll do it. Since the tuning exams are in 2 weeks, do you think I can master in this 2 weeks? And Kakashi would be like, yeah, I'm confident that you will, even though he's not really that confident because let's just say the Rasengan, even Jiraiya took some while to master it, a few months. So in 2 weeks, that's a lot of pressure. But Kakashi would say to Naruto that, you have a lot of chakra, like a lot of chakra, 4 times as much as me if I'm talking being real here. And Naruto would say like, oh, really? And he would be like, yeah, I'll teach you one more jutsu. And that is Kakashi would form his hands in a cross seal and form a shadow clone. This jutsu allows you to, he would say to Naruto all the benefits of shadow clone. Naruto would be like, okay, I want to learn it. Naruto would learn the shadow clone pretty quickly. And then soon, Kakashi would say to Naruto that, form 50 shadow clones, which Naruto would do. And then he would say to Naruto that, now all of these shadow clones are going to be focusing on popping the water balloon. And Naruto would be like, okay, let's do it. And only within a day, since Naruto is a prodigy and the shadow clone speeds up the, timing of the training by a lot, Naruto would pop the balloon in already a day, and Kakashi would be really shocked. But he would, eye smile since he knows that Naruto is like really a prodigious Genin, even more prodigious than what he was. He would tell Naruto to pop a rubber balloon next, which Naruto would pop in 2 days, and then he would say to Naruto, "This is the most hard step of the confinement of the power and all that, and the final step of the Rasengan." Naruto had mastered this in within a week, and the tuning exams after some time of Kakashi telling Naruto that yeah, after all this has been done, you can pretty much do whatever you want. Like the Rasengan is an incomplete jutsu. You can apply chakra nature to it. You can make the Rasengan bigger by applying more chakra to it. Since you have the chakra, I would suggest you do so. And Naruto would be like, okay, fine, Sensei, I'll do it. And Kakashi, I smile at Naruto like, yeah, that's my boy. And soon the tuning exams would begin. Naruto would ace all the tuning exam stages. In the preliminary rounds of the tuning exams, Naruto would, fly through it without much of a problem. Since this is this period that the tuning exams is happening. Suna is really good terms with the Leaf Village, so that they will also send their Genins, but there is no real competition for Naruto in the entirety of the tuning exams. Naruto forms a new record in the Forest of Death as well, even faster than Itachi, so that's good. And then soon Naruto would be at the final stage of the tuning exams, and Minato would, of course, be watching this. Naruto would face an opponent which corners him quite a bit, and then Naruto would be like, yeah, he would look at Minato, who is up in the Hokage booth along with the Kasakage, and just say in his mind, "Watch me, Dad." And as Naruto would say that, he would extend his hand and form a Rasengan. Everyone in the audience would be surprised, bewildered by this. Naruto, who is only like 10 years old, is able to form a Rasengan. That's a huge feat. Like, that's a really huge feat. Minato's eyes would also widen a little bit, but he would not show it much, as the Rasengan is due to that Minato took 3 years to create, and he would be really happy internally, but of course he would not really show it. Naruto rushed towards his opponent, and with the speed that he inherited from his father, he would beat his opponent with the final Rasengan. As Naruto would do that, he would be declared as the winner of the tuning exams. Naruto would, see Minato in the Hokage boot, just giving him a thumbs up, as Naruto would, will just widen his eyes, seeing this, that maybe his father finally acknowledged him, maybe his father will finally train him and whatnot. And then soon after all this happened, Naruto is of course promoted to a Chunin. But Naruto, when he goes to Minato and says, "Dad, how was I?" And Minato would be like, "Hey, you're fine, but yeah, you're fine. That's all." As Minato would say that Naruto, who would be expecting more, would be like, "Oh, okay, but now can you train me?" Naruto would ask, because Minato would look at him and be like, "Naruto, don't tell me all this time you graduating, early from the academy, just doing, you becoming a tuning at such a young age, you working so hard was just for me to teach you?" And Minato and Naruto would be like, "Yeah, I wanted to gain your approval because you have been ignoring me and the supporting Madman Mito." And Minato would, of course, stand up and look at Naruto. He would rub Naruto's head and be like, "No, no, 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 no. You got it all wrong, Naruto. You see, but since you're mature enough and you're a tuning, I guess it is fine to tell you." Now, Minato would, tell Naruto about the prophecy, and also about Minman Mito possibly being the child of prophecies. And then Naruto would be like, "Did you tell them that they're the supposed child of prophecies?" And Minato would be like, "No, I didn't, but because I know how humans work, and if I told them that they're the child of prophecy, they would get arrogant, and they would not really train as hard as they would this thing. Everything would come to them in a silver platter." As Naruto would not, just understanding what Minato is saying. Minato would be like, "You really don't need my help, Naruto. You're doing great on your own. And since you admire Itachi so much, I think you want to be in the Anbu, right?" And Naruto would be like, "Yeah, I do. I really do want to be in the Anbu." Minato would be like, "Okay, then. I'll make some adjustments. Can you wait a year? And I'll change your resume of instead of you being like a 11-year-old, I'll make you 13 years old in your documents, and we'll take it from there." Naruto would be really happy that his father is finally supporting him, and soon Naruto would join the Anbu, and he would be placed in Itachi's team. Finally, Naruto would be placed in Itachi's team. Naruto would be really happy that someone that he saw as his idol is working with him. Sisu would be in a different team, if you guys are wondering. Sisu would not be in the same team. But Naruto, who's with Itachi and some few others, would go on few missions, and in one of these missions, Naruto would see his teammate die. That would be the breaking stone for Naruto, as he would realize how cruel the shinobi world is and whatnot. While Naruto would be sleeping in his bed, he would think about how his teammate got killed and whatnot. He would not be able to sleep really, right? And Minato, who should be supporting Naruto in this time of his life, would just be sleeping, as Naruto would get really scared and would not know what to do. Again, he's just 11 years old while he's going through all of this. Soon, when Naruto does fall asleep, he comes to a really bright and warm area, and then he hears a voice. Naruto. Naruto looked behind to see a beautiful red-haired woman, and he would know who this woman was. He had seen a picture of this woman with his father in few occasions, and he would Naruto would, tears would form in Naruto's eyes as he would rush towards his mother and hug Kushina. As Kushina would, of course, start patting Naruto's head and be like, "Oh, my little child, I know you have gone through so much. Sorry for Minato being an idiot." As he would say that, Naruto would, just cry in Kushina's chest, as he's on her height up to the level that he's on a chest. And, Kushina would, of course, let him cry and just console him because in this case, Kushina is a really good mother. In other cases, unlike the other what ifs. So, Minato is the horrible one in this one. So, Kushina would, of course, console Naruto. After consoling Naruto for a bit, so he would say to Naruto that, he had awakened the power within him, but he had just not noticed it after, because he had gone through some shit because of Minato just neglecting him and just not training him and all that. And Naruto would be like, "Oh, I do," and Kushina would be like, "Yeah, you do, my son," and like try to apply chakra to your eyes. And Naruto would like, "Okay, I'll do it, mom." And as soon as Naruto would apply the chakra to his eyes, as in the thumbnail, Naruto's eyes would be in the sign of yin and yang, one half being the white and one half being black, and same with the other, one half being white and one half being black. So he would smile at Naruto and say, that ability that you have is a really ancient ability of the Uzumaki. Not many people know about it. Since I'm one of the royal blood members of the Uzumaki, I knew about it. That dojutsu that you have is really strong. Like, it's stronger, even more stronger than the Sharingan. But people say the people who awaken those dojutsu cannot really awaken their real true power until something happens to them. Like, no one has been able to achieve its true strength and unlock all of its power. Naruto would be like, "Do you think I can do it?" And she would say, "Of course you can. Of course you can, Naruto. You're my son." And as Naruto would, hear that, his eyes would widen as he would get a huge smile on his face. Since, even Minato in his entire lifetime has never said that, "Naruto, you can do it, like, Naruto, you are so strong, because you're my son." Minato has never said that, any kind of that kind of shit in his life. As, hearing this from his mother would really inspire Naruto. As Kushina's chakra would start to disappear, she would, say to Naruto that she loves him a ton, and she was sorry to leave him like this, and she would tell Naruto not to tell Minato about this, as since she does not want him to drown in despair anymore. As she would say that, Naruto would be like, "Okay, as you wish, mom." And as soon as Naruto would say that, Kushina's chakra would vanish, as Naruto would just look up in this mindscape and just smile as he would pump his fist up in the air and say, "Mom, I'll make you proud. I'll become even stronger than what Dad was, and I'll bring Konoha to an extent that no one has ever seen." As Naruto would say that, and he would activate his dojutsu and say, "I'll master these eyes as well to make you proud, Mom." And as Naruto would say that, Kushina, who's in heaven, would just smile at Naruto and be like, "That's my son, all right. He has the same will of fire that I did, all right." Soon, Naruto would go to his missions and would discover that this eye is actually pretty goddamn strong. What do you mean by that? This eye that Naruto has is pretty similar to the six eyes in the Gojo family. If you guys do not know from the Jujutsu Kaisen, what this pretty much does is gains it pretty much gives Naruto perfect control over his chakra, and because of that, Naruto, even for like really high level ninjutsu, has to only use like a bare minimum amount of chakra in order to pull it off, and that's a huge thing. And also, not to mention the kinetic vision that Naruto gets with this eye is comparable to that of the mangaka Sharingan, just to just point it out. And not to mention the other abilities that Naruto is gonna have in the future once a certain incident that happens to him. If you guys know my Jogan series that I've been uploading recently, you guys might know how Naruto becomes awakened. As all this happens, and soon Naruto, who is making a name for himself as the Black and White. It's not a really creative name, sorry, but that's all I can think with Naruto's eyes. And since he's an Anbu, like his eyes are the only thing that are visible. And since Naruto, is so strong with his new eyes that he's awakened, in a year he builds a reputation for himself as the black and white killer. As Naruto becomes quite cold because of that's the way the Anbus have to be, like really cold in order to do the nitty gritty and the bad things that the village has to do in order to stay in shape. So eventually, after all this mess happens, Naruto, Itachi, and his entire team is sent on the mission to kill a daimyo of a certain country, and I don't know which country they want it to be, but let's just say certain country. The daimyo of the fire and the daimyo of the whatever land are having a little bit of not a good relationship. They've been intervening with their businesses here and there, and the fire daimyo wants the bitch gone, and he has hired the best team in Konoha to do so. I mean, he says like, Itachi, your team is the best team, Anbu team in Konoha, so I need to do it. And Itachi's like, fine, I'll do it, Lord Hokage. This is an S rank mission, and the Anbus are the ones they're supposed to do, any kind of S rank mission. And Mina's just like, yeah, let's go, Itachi, go, as he would do that. But unbeholds to all of these fools, a person that daimyo that the fire daimyo had sent Itachi's team to kill had hired the Akatsuki in their favor. And not to mention, the man that they hired is no one other than Toby himself, the strongest member of the Akatsuki, Obito. So I'll leave this video off here. We'll continue the series if it, of course, does good. That is, in the next part, and if it doesn't does good, then we'll just like start a new series, I guess. But again, hopefully it does good, and hopefully I get to make a new part of the series. Well, I'll see you guys in the next one, and until then, peace out, guys. Have a really nice day, and see you in the next one. Peace.